Hey everybody, I'm Eric Oberembt, and you're listening to Be Authentic or Get the Fuck Out. We talk about real shit, what's on our minds, and don't give a fuck if it makes you feel a little uncomfortable. So sit back, strap in, and get ready for some real shit. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Be Authentic or Get the Fuck Out. I'm your host, Eric Oberembt. We are here today at RoofCon. So we're filming some episodes at RoofCon, going to do kind of a similar thing like we did at Storm, and do some 20, 30-minute episodes for everybody, and real excited today. So what I really love about doing episodes at events like this is it gives me an opportunity to get to know some people that maybe we've all seen each other from afar and we're watching what everybody's doing, but we've never really got an opportunity to sit down and have a conversation. And so today we're starting with Chuck Allen. Chuck, thanks for being here, buddy.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it, and I'm happy to be here for sure.
Good, man. I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this because I genuinely want to know more about you. I want to know a little bit more about you and about your story. You know, I don't know if you've watched much of what we do, but like, we don't come in here to talk about fucking roofing, right? We don't come in here to, you know, talk about how to knock more doors and close more fucking deals, right? Like,
we all know how to do that.
There's a lot of people that can teach us how to do that, right? The intent here is to find out what you're passionate about and why, and if there was any struggle between that, so that people can connect to that and maybe have some inspiration or some hope if they're sitting down going, what the fuck do I do next, right? So tell me a little bit about where you started and how you got into where you're at now.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely been a lot of struggle. It's been a long road.
Yeah.
I started in roofing back in 1998.
Okay.
24 years ago now?
It's a long fucking time ago.
More than half my life.
I was a freshman in college.
Right.
You were a sophomore.
I was close, yeah. I was right there.
Did you go to college?
No. School of Hard Knocks, man.
Yeah.
I went
to school, never finished. Paid a fuckload of money.
I went to Ohio State, but I didn't actually enroll in Ohio State. We'll say that.
Okay, I like
some
that.
fun there.
That's fine. Okay, all right, cool. Go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to. You'll learn I'm an interrupter.
I am too.
I interrupt a lot.
It's all good.
Sorry, and then
good
we have to find our
train
train of thought again. So
good
yeah,
host, man. So yeah, I started in 1998. It was weird because I was just I was working for a drywall company. And that's a shitty job. I'm not going to lie. It sucks.
Drywall
it's heavy.
sucks.
I got a hernia, and I decided I didn't want to do that anymore.
Fair.
So one day I just said, screw it, and I was driving home, and there was a roofing supply company on the side of the road with a sign that said they were hiring. I stepped in. I got hired right there on the spot, and I have never left. 24 years later. I spent a lot of time at that company in Columbus, Ohio, doing deliveries. I was a flatbed guy. Then I drove a conveyor truck for 12 years.
It's funny how this industry just sucks you in. And you can't fucking get out. It's kind of like the mob.
It is like the mob.
It's very similar to the mob, and you just can't fucking get out.
I don't want out at this point.
No,
There's been times where I thought, you know what am I doing? But I love this. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Right.
So I did that, and I was in Ohio for, I guess, 12 years, 13 years, something like that. And I got an opportunity from that company to go start a branch of it in Charlotte. So I went to Charlotte. I was there for about 3 years. We opened up from scratch, myself and one guy.
Yep.
And we built that thing up pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie. It was stress, and I was working 100-plus hours a week.
Fuck that.
I thought I was dead there maybe 3 or 4 times, and that's what one day I just snapped and said, fuck this, I'm out, I quit.
Right.
And I literally was like the manager of the store, and I just threw my hands up.
Oh, just like that? Just like that.
My bad. Threw my hands up. I'm a expressive guy.
Yes, clearly.
And sorry, I'll throw that around. And I moved to Texas just randomly. I had no plans on going to Texas. I had never thought about it. I just got in my car and started driving. I ended up in Texas. I met a guy there, and he offered me a job in sales. I worked for him for about 7 years, and that was cool. But I'm trying to expand myself. You know, once you get into a certain level with sales, residential especially, you can hit a certain point, and then it's like, all right,
absolutely.
I make good money. It's fun, but I've got more to offer. So I left that company in January of 19, and a couple of friends approached me about buying Rio Blanco Roofing, which is in San Antonio. Yep. It was out of business. So it was kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Why not, right?
Right.
Taking a dead brand in one of the toughest markets in the country that I've never been to a day in my life. Let's do this shit.
Seems like fun.
Yeah, and it has been. So I ran down there, and I actually lived in my office for about the first 2 months because I didn't even know if I was in a good neighborhood. But we started building it from there, and literally it was myself, and a cricket that was living in my office building. I didn't have any desks at that point.
Right.
So started it going. We got a hailstorm about 3 weeks in, which was pretty badass. I'm not going to lie.
Wow.
But I wasn't ready for it.
That is fortuitous.
Well, it was great.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite ready, so we didn't get to maximize as best we could. But it gave me preparation. It gave us a good foundation to get started. And then we just started building it.
Yeah.
We got hit with that hail back in, I guess it was 2020.
Okay.
And it blew our brand up to where we opened an office in Tyler, Texas. We opened one in College Station, and we had the one in San Antonio.
Nice.
So within 18 months, it went from dead to completely thriving.
It's awesome.
And, everything, there's ebbs and flows in life. It's not been easy, that's for damn sure.
Right.
We got to that point. Personal stuff came in, and I had to leave the company for a little bit and kind of put it in weird hands that didn't care for it like I did.
Right.
So when I got back, there was a bit of a struggle trying to, maintain and keep myself afloat. We did it. We fought hard, and, now
So what'd you have to walk away for?
My mom got sick.
Okay.
She ended up passing away, and
Okay.
I had to take care of her for a little while.
Sure.
So
Fair enough.
one of those things. I didn't want to do that, but
Yeah.
you kind of have to.
So what today through you've obviously you've went through business stuff. You've gotten to where you're at now. And with what you're doing today, what do you think you're the most passionate about?
At this point in my career, it's improving other people's lives.
By
honestly,
doing what?
By giving them opportunities they've never had before. And I'll give you a great example. I just hired a guy about a month ago, and he's in his late 40s.
Yep.
Has been a laborer doing repairs for 35 years.
Yep.
He started roofing at 15.
Yep.
So I asked him a simple question when he came in, what do you want? What are you looking for? Are you just looking for a paycheck? Are you looking for a purpose?
Right.
And his answer was something that really hit me hard, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to give this guy everything he wants. He wanted to make his kids proud. He didn't mention how much money do you pay, how much work am I getting, am I going to get leads, am I going to be... He wants to make his kids proud.
Right.
So I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to help you make your kids proud because we're going to build a dynasty together. He came in, does amazing work. He's got a lot of pride in it because we're treating him that way, And I gave the man his own office, and I almost saw a tear,
Right.
And for me, that's the reason why I'm doing it now.
Gave him meaning.
Exactly. You give
Gave
someone a
them meaning.
reason, you give them purpose,
Yeah.
and it changes people.
Yeah.
That's something that took me a long time to understand is people can change.
We get the opportunity as business owners to literally, like you said, we get to change lives, right? I get to do it in other ways, like with Roofers in Recovery and things like that. But I remember when I had a moment in my business when I realized that all the things that I was doing was on this micro level inside of the business. And I was like, well, I get to help like 8 people or whatever it is, right? And so it was one of the reasons that we started this podcast. There was kind of 2 reasons. One was selfish because I had access to people.
That's why I did mine, not going to lie.
And I was like, I want to get to know some of these people better, and I want other people to get the opportunity to get to know them as well, because they might not have the access or the opportunity, right? But the other side of it, the other side of the coin was I wanted to have an opportunity to do what I was doing on a micro level and make it macro, and figure out how to make it macro so that when we're here and we're talking, it's not about you and me, right? It's not about what the fuck I did coming up in the industry, right?
Who cares?
It's not about that, with you. It's about how are we changing lives and how are we affecting other people? And it's our responsibility as business owners that we don't treat it like it is just a business, but that this is something that's very important to me, is that everybody that comes into my company is part of my family.
Absolutely.
And when you treat it like everybody that's in your company is part of your family, and you're going to go above and beyond to make sure that they're succeeding, then you're going to succeed.
Can't help
but
it
if
at
you're
that point.
only thinking about how you succeed, you will not fucking do shit.
I agree with that 100%. And there's been a span of time in my life where I was more concerned about succeeding and being the man.
Right? We've all had that.
Yeah.
I
Very
think,
humbling.
I think that comes with age. I do. I think that comes with age. But what I also think is because when we're younger, we don't want to listen to anybody, and we don't want to. We want to figure it all out on ourselves. By
we're
ourselves.
Guys. I mean, I still don't take directions.
We're all type A.
Yeah.
But like, if I could have had a cheat code in my 20s.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? To like be at an event like this and get to listen to people that have been through the shit that we've been through and be able to take something from it to shorten my time frame down on learning by 5 years, what I could have accomplished if I could have accelerated a timeline by 5 years. Like,
insane.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Insane, right?
Right.
And we don't think like that, like I said, until we get a little older and more mature, and then we realize, hey, this is the actual fun part of it.
Right.
I always thought that the success was going to be the fun.
No,
the journey's the fun. The struggle's the fun.
The
meeting
helping.
the people along
the helping
way
is the fun.
Exactly. I'll tell you this too. My guy Francisco is his name. I hired him. He doesn't have any kind of social media or anything like that, so he's a very humble guy.
Yeah.
He just goes to work every day. My social media team posted something about a job he had done, and they welcomed Francisco to the team. And I showed it to this guy, and you would have thought that, he just got the Nobel Peace Prize.
Right.
And that's what it's about. It's about helping people that maybe got shit on at another place, didn't get an opportunity to grow as much as they wanted, or just never got a chance for whatever reason. I've hired some guys that you'd look at and say, some of them didn't work out. I'm not going to lie. Maybe I could have read the cover a little better, but some of them turned out to be great.
Right.
And it's just needing that sense of purpose and direction.
It's almost like we want it for them more than they want it for themselves sometimes.
I do. And
that makes it hard.
It does.
Makes it really hard.
I think really my main goal is to show that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of energy, and I like to show that to people because it enthuses you a little bit. And I get into the office early, and I tell my guys, you're the man. I'll give high fives to everybody and just get pumped up because, like you said, we are a family. We spend more time together than we do with our families.
Right. That's no shit.
Yeah, and if you don't like somebody, it makes it really tough.
Right, yeah.
I've gotten rid of $1 million producers because they were assholes
Correct.
before.
Yeah, if they don't fit the culture and they don't fit your value system, they got to go.
No point, right?
They absolutely got to go. So tell me about the podcast a little bit. Tell me why you started that and what your intention is with it.
Okay, so my podcast was kind of weird. It started at a strange time, but when we bought Rio Blanco in January 2019 and I moved down there, I'd always toyed with the idea.
Yeah.
Since I was a little kid, I listened to Howard Stern and all these guys, and I'm trying to be this. So we have a social media consulting firm in our organization, K Socialized Media, and I guess it was for maybe the third quarter of last year, we do team goals. My Rio guys and the ASAP team, which is our parent company, ASAP Roofing over in East Texas, had the branch managers go live every Thursday, and that was just part of our social media deal. And for me, when I opened the company, I already came up with keeping it Rio. Like, I was already planning that a long time ago.
Right.
And this was just the opportunity to do it. So we started it off, and it was live on Thursdays, 6 o'clock. Myself and my branch managers at first. And the first few, they sucked. I'm not going to lie. We talked about, hey, our guys are doing a great job on roofs and this and that. We certainly evolved to the point where we talk about gas station hot dogs, and we talk about, houses that smell like piss.
Nothing better than a shit after a gas station hot dog.
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. We've been in this a long time. So it's kind of evolved, and then I started reaching out to people because I've been in this a long time, and like you, I've made a lot of acquaintances over the years, and I started really kind of just doing one-on-one interviews with guys. And I think that's where I'm going to go with it moving forward, is just this format where it's going to be a one-on-one deal, because I think you can get more value out of it than having a panel. But I started it, and we've done 94 episodes.
Oh, wow.
I'm getting ready to step up and start it back up. I kind of took a couple-week hiatus.
Okay.
But we've done that.
She doesn't let me.
Good. Don't let it, because once you stop for a week, it's like, man, now I got to go back and start
fucking
over.
hiatuses over here,
That's the plan.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to just doing like a 1-hour format. It's going to be a one-on-one interview.
Nice.
Just me and random people, and it's not roofing completely. I've had professional wrestler. I had a mortician.
Oh, really?
A 17-year-old Elvis impersonator.
Really?
Yeah, all kinds. I had authors, just people from outside of our world.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people from in it. I've had, some of the big names in our industry have been on Keeping It Real, and I'm pretty proud of that.
Absolutely,
so
something to be proud
it's
of.
one of those things that I didn't think it was going to go 94 episodes, honestly.
Right.
Most of them go
and
5
when did
or
it
6
start?
and then they quit. I started just a little over a year ago.
Okay.
We were doing 2 a week there for a while.
Okay.
But back in, I guess, third quarter of 2021.
That was when we started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
that was when we started as well.
Meteoric rise to the top for both of us, right? But it's a lot of fun. I love doing that because, like you said, I get to talk to people, which is selfish.
Yep.
But you'd be shocked at how many people in just this room are like, keeping it real, can I be on your show? I've already booked like 10 guests.
Right.
And it's like, okay, someone's watching, someone's paying attention, so I'm going to
You always wonder, right?
You do.
I always wonder, like, because I'll come to this and I'll get the same thing, and they'll be like, "Hey, man, love you," whatever, and it's humbling
for sure.
But when you're doing it, you're like, is anybody really fucking listening? Right.
To be honest, I was real paranoid about it at first, and then I just thought, you know what? If one person watches, I'm cool. And the sad truth is, episode 14 of my podcast, one person watched,
Really?
14 weeks in, I got one view on Facebook, and it's like, well, shit, that's not encouraging. But you just stay the course, keep doing it. You gotta stay the course.
It's about being consistent.
Exactly. I picked up some sponsors. They've helped me kind of,
Did you?
boost it.
So I haven't done that. I haven't done that for a couple of reasons, just because they try to tell me I can't say something.
No, my sponsors don't put a cap on me at all.
Really?
Yeah, fuck all day.
Really?
It's
That's
awesome.
great. Who do you have as sponsors?
Mike Code, sales training consultant. He's my number one. Thump Hot Sauce, which is my best friend from kindergarten, started a hot sauce company.
Really?
They sponsor us. I get a lifetime supply of hot sauce, and Thump is the best hot sauce in the world.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
If anybody's watching.
So we tried to get Zyn for all your nicotine needs.
Right.
We tried to fucking get Zyn. I sent them emails and like reached out to them on social media and everything, and they're like, we are not taking on influencers at this time. However, we will send you some coupons.
Sweet. There you go.
I was like, thanks, Zyn.
We love it, Zyn. We're going to continue on with you. But yeah, I've gotten that, and I got the Hook Agency, which is marketing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And kind of similar to you, it's not on my screen, but one of my friends in North Carolina has a cannabis farm.
Okay.
And he sponsors it too. They do a lot of organic foods, a lot of,
nice.
Legal stuff. He's federally mandated, but just,
nice.
a weird array of sponsors for a roofing related show.
Good for
you.
you.
But it's not roofing.
Good for you.
We don't talk about it.
Well, I'm excited to be on yours one day. We'll get that worked out. The way that we end every episode, though, is that I give the floor back to the guest, because I want them to, because most guests come on and they've got something in their head that they maybe wanted to talk about, but they had that little gut.
I got it.
You know what I mean?
I got what I wanted to talk about.
They weren't sure, and sometimes I might not get there, right, organically. So I always give the floor back to the guest for the last few minutes to bring up whatever you think will give the most value to the audience.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to talk about you.
Oh, fuck.
All right. So, number one, I want to thank you personally for what you and your team with Paul and all your guys do for our industry. Roofers in Recovery, I think, is something that was very, very badly needed. It's something that it hits home for all of us. Everybody in our industry, for sure, knows somebody that's gone the wrong way, and it probably isn't here anymore. I know you guys don't have to do that, and it's a project from the heart. Yeah. And for me, that's what means the most. And I always told myself, I meet you and Paul in person, I'm going to thank you because I've never had those issues, but I know a lot of people. I had a cousin that killed himself. I have a lot of people in this industry that are no longer with us because of what they got into. Yeah. So what you guys are doing, I think, is way bigger than the industry. I don't think you have any idea what your impact really is as far as that stuff goes. Yeah. And one day it's going to come back, and you're going to meet somebody 10 years from now, and they're going to say, Eric, you saved my freaking life, man. Yeah. I was fucked. I was getting ready to go down this path. I was doing stuff I shouldn't. I didn't care. And I saw your show, or I saw something y'all were doing, and you brought me back. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
I had a girl on my podcast. Her name is Sam Perez, and this was a great episode. This is a short one. She wrote a book, and it was based on recovery. Yep. She's a young girl. I think she's in her early 20s, a news reporter in South Carolina, and her family actually opened a diner that hires nothing but recovering opioid addicts.
Wow.
Or recovering, I don't like the word addicts, but whatever the technical.
That's what it is.
And so that's all it is. And that's who runs the Deviate Diner.
Wow.
And she wrote a book, and I told her,
Deviate or Deviant?
It's DV and then 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And same thing, right? But it's pretty cool because I told her, there's a lot of guys in our industry that do stuff like that too. And I was speaking directly on you and Paul. And I had Bubba on my podcast a while back. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
so I love what you guys are doing. And I always like to say, if there's anything I can do to add to that, to help in any way, I'm here. We don't live too far from each other now.
And there is, because I'll make the ask on the fucking show. So we have our booth right next here for Roofers in Recovery, and what we're pushing really hard and what we're asking all of our partners and everybody that is supporting us is every opportunity that you have is to talk about National Roofers in Recovery Day. So this year, we did it last year on June 3rd. Mm-hmm. We're doing it this year on June 2nd.
Okay.
So it's the first Friday of June. And we're trying to get this year 150 contractors to sign up all across the country. And on that day, we're all going to build a roof for Roofers in Recovery, and you're going to pay your subs, pay your suppliers, and donate the profit from that roof to Roofers in Recovery, because we want to have one day where we can have one big day of fundraising so that we can focus the rest of the year on helping people.
Absolutely.
Because it gets so, it's so hard to nickel and dime all year long to raise the money to be able to send people to treatment. I mean, it costs almost $20K.
Yeah.
Every time we send somebody to treatment. And so we need that day. And on that day, if we can get 150 contractors signed up and we can raise almost $750,000 on that day, we can send our goal of 50 people a year to treatment, and that's our goal for 2023.
That's an awesome goal. I'm gonna do my part to help, and I've got a lot of friends that are walking around this showroom right now. I'm gonna get as many people as I can to sign up to.
We got flyers right there. You scan a QR code and just sign your name up, and then we'll reach out. But that is the help that we ask for, is to spread the message and spread the word to be able to help us to be able to do that. So I really appreciate you bringing that up. It means a lot.
Absolutely. And anybody that's watching, do the same thing.
Please.
I mean, this is a great thing to support.
If you've got a platform, we appreciate your support.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on Keeping It Real. We'll talk about it on mine as well. So
thank you.
This has been awesome.
Thank you, Chuck.
I appreciate you. It's been great talking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll do Keeping It Real here pretty soon.
Deal.
And,
I'm in. Chuck,
life is good.
I appreciate you being here, brother.
Thanks for not telling me to get the fuck out, unless that's your final thing. Get the fuck out now.
Well, it is, but I'm not going to make you leave. Thanks, Chuck, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. The housekeeping that we forgot in the beginning. If you got something out of this show, if you got something out of this that you think somebody else needs to hear, please take the time and share it. We don't have sponsors like fancy fucking Chuck over here. We don't have sponsors. We pay for everything, and then we give all of our money to Roofers in Recovery. So please fucking share this shit. And remember, everybody, be authentic or get the fuck out.
Authentic. Get the fuck out if you can't be authentic. Get the fuck out if you can't be authentic. Yeah. Swipes.